Everybody's seen them in the park, the little picker-uppers that you pick trash up with. Okay, when we opened up the monorail at Walt Disney World, in the Magic Kingdom station and in the Ticket Transportation Center station and the Contemporary, there's a trough. Okay. At the Polynesian, it's wide open, it just drops down to the ground. But in those stations, there's a trough. And there's a gap between the edge of the train and the station platform, maybe 3-4 inches. Okay. And they would drop everything down there. They'd drop purses down there, they'd drop wallets down there, they'd drop, and that's back when we had ticket books, and they dropped their ticket books. The only thing that we didn't have them drop their kids. Okay, never had to fish a kid out of the trough. But in terms of what would happen is they drop this up in there, so they tell us to drop something down inside the trough. So we'd have to do one of two things. Dispatch the train, ask the guests to wait, dispatch the train, get it past the rectifier station, shut the system down, because there's 600 volts DC running down through that bus bar on the side of the monorail. The difference at Disneyland's monorail is the bus bar is on one side, okay, and it's got a sort of a scissor-like pickup mechanism. At Walt Disney World, there's a bus bar on each side. One side's positive, one side's negative. And so you don't want to cook anybody with 600 volts DC. So you move the train out, shut the system down, jump down in the trough, retrieve whatever it is, and give it back to the guests. Okay? So if you look at the downtime that's associated with that, you're talking a minimum of a half hour to 45 minutes of downtime every time you have to do one of those retrievals. So I kept watching these people pick up all the trash goods, picker-uppers, and I went down to Custodio and I talked to the manager down there, Roy Young, and asked him if he'd give me a dozen. So he gave me a dozen of them. And then I took those back to the monorail shop, and I did a little negotiation with the maintenance group back at the monorail shop. And anytime they brought their family out, if they wanted to ride up in the nose cone, we take care of them. You have a little barter that goes on along that line. And I asked them to extend them from the 3 feet that they were to 8 feet and insulate it. Okay, so in turn we could reach down into the trough with these picker-uppers and retrieve the items. Okay, and so the guys did that. They cut them in half and added a section of PVC in there and added a nylon rope and made sure that we weren't going to have anybody get electrocuted, and put 2 in each of the stations that had troughs in them and had a whole set of a backup for those items. As people migrated off the monorail system, well, they got tagged as Nabbe Grabbers. Okay, so go get the Nabbe Grabbers. So we need to get something out of the trough. But you can see how much time that all we had to do is dispatch the train down, reach down and retrieve it, give whatever back to the guests. The guests could get on the next train and go, and we didn't lose 45 minutes of downtime in having to crawl down in there. Well, as people migrated off the monorail system into other areas in the park, those things didn't really have a name. And so it became the Nabbe Grabber squatty style, okay? And it sort of matched my body. So, and that's the story of the Nabbe Grabbers.